And we are back, people, with the second portion of Henshin.
Delightful.
Oh yeah.
A++. We'll watch and listen again. So, Toku Cram School. This segment is all about getting to hear opinions on shows that we will try to cram in a single series of weeks, generally about a month's time, because we're going to try and make sure that you guys get to see and hear us over the course of once a month new releases. So, in 1 month's time from here to the next recording, we're going to cram a single Toku series between the three of us, and we're going to use it as a discussion topic. We're going to give you the pros and cons, our favorite moments, great things we like about the motifs, all that jazz. We're going to have conversations. You guys get to hear the conversations, and you can always use this as a reference for when you think one of us is right or wrong, and say why for yourselves.
Now, how is it we would like to actually determine what show we're going to watch?
Well, good question, Jones. Toku Breaker, as it were. What we'll be doing is, in this episode, in our initial voyage, we are going to discuss among the three of us one or two series that each of us would want to watch. We're going to try and keep it for whoever's clicking. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to stop. I'm hearing it in my side. Apologies. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Breaker. I'll break your face.
He's breaking that four down. That's
on. Anyway. Yeah, face is made. People were happy. So in this episode, we're going to discuss one or two series that we would like to watch with these other people, and we're going to convince the other ones why. At the end of this little session here, we're going to choose one series among the ones that we mentioned, and we're going to use that as our series for the next episode to discuss. We're going to offer this to you guys. Anybody who listens, anybody who watches this, I want you to comment in the comment boxes below and just let us know what you would like us to watch and why you think it would be a good show. Or maybe you'll tell us why the one that we did choose or didn't choose is a really good option. You know, be a part of the conversation. Join the cast in HENSHIN.
HENSHIN. There we go.
All right, so again, the rules for this, we're going to try and keep it to Sentai and Rider because, again, those seem to be the most accessible series as of right now for any of us and all you guys out there in La La Land. So, as time goes on, we'll try to aim for other things, Garo, Metal Heroes, the non-segmented heroes. But for tonight, at least, Sentai and Rider.
Right.
Now, Tony, where you and I talked a lot last time, do you mind if we have Jones offer the first one, and we'll do this like 2 circles round?
No problem. Jones, Toku Break, take the stage.
All right. So how do we want to do this? Do we want to name shows that
you name
have
one
seen?
show right now? You are going to name one show that you want to watch, whether that's for the first time or again, and you're going to tell us why. You're going to try and convince the other two of us why.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna say Kamen Rider Kabuto.
Okay.
Mainly due to the fact that it's in that era where it's Kamen Rider where it was getting dark. I don't want to say dark because all serious darkness. It was in that point where Kamen Rider was getting a little too
full of itself, too serious to its own self.
It was being a little too serious to the point where ratings were starting to go down because of it. Which then led into Kamen Rider Den-O being far more colorful, far more upbeat and more kid friendly. So it's kind of like it is at that top where this is where it ended being quite as serious as it was.
Okay.
At least for Heisei, not Neo Heisei. But yeah, and there's also a great cast of characters, a lot of writers. So it is one of those series that has at least there's at least 7 writers. Yeah, there's like 7. Well, no, probably at max like 7 writers, not including power-up forms.
Yeah, 7. You're right.
So you get a really good cast there, as well as really good acting, at least in my opinion.
Sure.
Okay, I can.
There's at least 7, yeah.
Yeah, I can agree to that with Kabuto being rewatched.
That's a possibility.
Yeah,
There's the what is it? The main actor whose name I can't remember
Hiro?
for the life of me.
Hiro.
Hiro, the one, yeah, he plays
Kabuto.
Tendo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Tendo Soji. He's a really good actor. He's been in.
I know he's been in Hanakimi.
He's been in that. He's been in this really good movie about your typical Japanese school punks, Yankee, in the movie Drop. He's in the live-action rendition of Beck Mongolian Chop Squad.
Oh my goodness.
Alongside another writer, actor who plays Ryotaro in Den-O.
Oh, Sato. Takeru Sato.
Yeah.
Oh god, Sato.
But yeah. So also, who plays the gentleman who plays Daisuke in Kabuto, who Kamen Rider Drake? He's also. Oh my god. What's V3's name? What's V3's?
Kazuma? Is it Kazuma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in
He plays-
Kamen Rider the Next, right?
Yeah, he played V3 in Kamen Rider the Next.
Yeah.
Ironically, both writers he has played, or not ironically, coincidentally, they are both Dragonfly motifs.
Yeah, can't go wrong.
And I think you failed to mention too the recent series that they've done in the way of doing joke hero series. They did Kanpai Senshi After 5. He was Treasure Blue.
I actually haven't seen that show.
Okay, I saw the first few episodes and I kind of lagged off around episode 6 or 7. I need to finish it off because it's only a 12-episode series. But
Okay.
he plays the Blue, who's supposed to be cool, but in actuality he's an airhead.
Okay.
So he's kind of funny to watch.
There you go.
Okay, so is that your first vote?
That is
Kabuto?
my first vote is for Kamen Rider Kabuto.
Okay.
All right.
Tony, why don't you give your shot number 1?
All right. I'd like to put on the table Kamen Rider Blade.
Okay.
I haven't watched the series. I picked at it here and there, but I haven't got to sit down and watch the whole series. This will give me an excuse to sit down and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I'm pushing Blade forward is because of his critique in the Tokusatsu fandom as one of the most bittersweet endings.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with the 4 main writers, we'll get maybe a little break from that whole multiple writer era.
Mm-hmm.
We get the amazing cast that is between Kenzaki Hajime, Garen, I can never remember his name, no, Tachibana, and I can't remember the last writer's name. I think it's Chalice. No, Chalice is Hajime, but going off tangents.
Yeah.
I wanted to get to understand the series rather than me just sitting that down one or twice, sitting down and watching it. I feel like it'll be a great start to the Henshin series, Cram School sort of thing.
Okay. That's your lot in it is
Yeah, I haven't
sit down.
I haven't got to sit down and watch it, and I think it'll be a great series to start with, especially for the community. But
Okay.
you know.
I actually started it a while back. I never got a chance to finish it, which was kind of with one other show, but we'll get on with that later. But yeah, from what I saw of Blade, I was enjoying it. I don't know why I stopped watching it. I think I might have just gotten caught up with other stuff.
Yeah, it's weird.
I have no problem with Blade. I've tried to sit down a number of occasions, and this is one of those few things that breaks my. I have a thing that I tell a lot of people: the 10-episode rule. With any Tokusatsu series, within about 10 episodes, you should be able to understand why that series is worth watching and watch it to the end. However, with this series, it's one of the few that I bumped into that breaks that rule, and it apparently doesn't really pick up, at least for myself, and I know a few others have said this too, until sometime in the late teens,
Yeah.
Liangle, the other writer you were trying to talk about, Liangle,
Yeah.
comes in, and we start having those things occur. So, I would say that again, that's a good vote to put in. I'm willing to do that one because I want to get that under my belt too. I need some of the earlier Heisei at least.
Yeah, with that 10 episode ruling, I have met certain people who have actually completely refrained from watching series due to the, I don't want to say the need to watch 10 episodes, but that is certainly a significant investment of time to possibly find a show that you just don't want to watch.
I guess.
Or to possibly a significant amount of time to put into something where nothing happens and it's not enjoyable for those 10 episodes, you know?
I guess, but my saying for 10 episodes is by the 10th episode, there's generally enough of a plot hook to reel you in by the 10th episode. An example that I always use is Kamen Rider Kiva. In the arc where episodes 9 and 10 occur, you follow the frog Fangayer, who is trying to lead a life where he does not harm humanity. He's pushed to a point where he almost does, and refrains, but that doesn't stop Kamen Rider Ixa, who at this point isn't looked as much of a high hero type, who goes in and kills him in cold blood. And at that point, you have some level of an anger towards Ixa. You feel a sadness for the death of a Fangayer, and by that time, you should be invested in Kiva, the main rider himself.
Yeah.
So that's my reasoning for 10 episodes. But another way to look at it for time reasons is the average episode that we watch from any of these subgroups, because of the cutting of commercials and everything else, comes down to about 22 minutes or so, give or take. So in actuality, you're looking at about the length of an epic movie. If you're willing to sit down with your friends to watch an epic length movie, you're willing to sit down and watch about 9 or 10 episodes of a series.
Yeah.
If you can put forth that investment, and considering the fact that you don't have to do the whole 10 episodes in a single sitting, you're capable of making a well-informed decision most times.
True.
But that's an aside. I guess my turn. Vote one. This is tough to say. There are many shows that I would love to do rewatches for, but there are a lot of shows that I need to get under my belt too. I'm going to put my vote in to just finish off what will now be considered the Kamen Rider cycle.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing just now.
I'm going to say Kamen Rider Black.
Ooh.
I want to get something that is at least some level of Showa under my belt, and I know it's late Showa to the point of almost being Heisei.
No, it is completely Showa.
I know it is Showa, but it's, as we saw in one of the net movies for Decade, Black RX is considered Heisei because it was airing during the time
that
the Heisei era started.
Yeah, it was literally the year that it started.
Yes, exactly. However, for the sake of what stories are, Black RX does not count towards Heisei. We don't see Heisei become a real thing until we get over to...
We'll start with Kuga, yeah.
Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to recant my vote.
Oh.
You're going to start with Kuga?
Oh, God, yes. Because I've been meaning to watch Kuga for even longer than I've been meaning to watch Black. And Kuga did a lot of things for the series in total. Kuga was it was supposed to be both the restart of the Kamen Rider franchise, but also considered the end of Kamen Rider. It was supposed to touch on some of the facets of the original Kamen Rider, but bring it to a common day setting. It was
be that last hurrah.
Yeah.
The last hurrah that was a focus for both children by having super cool superhero fights, and the mothers who got to watch the dramas that happened outside of suit. So that actually worked. A lot of the mothers that would watch this with their children would find that they had really gorgeous-looking male actors to pull their attention. And I'm going to use this as a note. Crayon Shin-chan touches on this with Action Bastard in an episode where the mom starts really falling for Action Bastard, the actor, because she finds him very attractive and enjoys the subplots that occur that are outside of the action sequences.
Boy, that's a show I'll never watch.
The American thing didn't really work out because they did a poor job of doing the dubs, but they also had to try and localize it, so that's half the evil there.
Yeah.
The idea of Crayon Shinchan himself is actually a very strong holding over in Japan. You could equate it to somewhere right in between Peanuts and South Park.
Yeah.
Because it was Crayon Shinchan originally came out as a way to be a commentary on 90s parenting in Japan.
Okay.
So, but yeah, in any case, getting away from my topic point, Kuga had a very strong story progression, is what I'm told. It follows into a darker place. In fact, the idea of the hero, he is a very heroic person. He is a person who you would consider to be a paragon, not unlike Kota or some of the other heroes that we've had in the past, but he is being given the power of darkness, and he has to keep absorbing that in order to attain his goals. And Agito was meant to be a pseudo-sequel in that the character who gains the Agito seed is using the powers of light. And yeah, it was a direct correlation. In fact, G3, I'm using all my Kamen Rider knowledge now. It's going to be sickening when you guys hear me later on. G3 is based off of an unidentified life form number 4, who was Kuga.
I see.
So, G3 is directly Kuga as a metal suit. It's Mecha Kuga.
Like Metal Sonic, it's a Sonic, basically. Okay.
But there's great amounts of violence. We see bleeding Kaijin.
It's funny you mentioned that. I remember seeing this one image where Kuga is literally punching the crap out of this Kaijin, and there's blood on the ground. Like, is this Kamen Rider?
Yeah. And so, like, that hyper grittiness back in 2002, like, we weren't even getting into grit like we were in the mid 2000s on, like we saw with Batman Begins and stuff like that. So that was definitely ahead of its time, and I think that's a very strong Kamen Rider kick that I think we can all take on at some point.
Pun intended.
All right. So those are
more screen caps.
Those are 3 Rider series.
3 Rider series and 1 vote each, so we all have at least a second vote.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make an executive decision. You guys can vote yay or nay with me. Each throw in a Sentai.
Yeah, I was thinking about throwing the Sentai in. I'll start with the Sentai portion.
Sure.
I guess. I'd like to go back to Bokenja.
Okay.
The adventure is real in that show. I love the cast, between Akashi being the dork of adventures to Eiji being Vegetable Man.
Eiji.
What's wrong with calling the black guy black? Whoa, Eiji, chill.
You can't ask people why they're black.
Hey, no, right? Come on, Eiji. But
it's okay. He makes us eat our vegetables.
There you go. I enjoyed the cast. I enjoyed the suits. Honestly speaking, I felt like what they did in Overdrive over here.
Oh yeah.
I love Bokenja. I love the idea of going out there into the world, finding these artifacts, these gems, these things from legend or mythology that have these great powers, and bringing them to one safe hold, because you never know what can happen. You can have an orb that can literally turn the world on its side and pour everything off, or a sword that... sorry.
No, don't break too many things yet.
Yeah, Bokenja is just one of those shows where you can have limitless adventure, and I want to rewatch it.
That's good. And as long as we don't have to watch the pseudo-Pinocchio story that was Operation Overdrive, I will be happy with that.
I'm a real boy.
All right.
No, you're not, Connor. Was that even his name?
I don't care. It's white enough.
I didn't watch it. I stopped watching Power Rangers after Time Force, so...
Oh, man.
Probably the best time to do that.
But speaking of... Wait, no, Tony, I will let you continue.
No, I will conclude with that.
Oh, okay. Speaking of Time Force, I'm going to say Time Ranger.
Okay.
Yes.
Mainly because I've been wanting to watch it forever, and having watched some of it and just completely stopping, I do want to get started back over, and I want to continue and finish it.
Okay.
Only because I'm aware that the adaptation that we got as Time Force is apparently very accurate.
It's close. I wouldn't say
or close.
accurate,
I wouldn't
it's
say
close.
yeah. It's very close to it. So, if I recall enjoying Time Force as much as I did, Time Ranger should be just as delightful.
Okay.
And that's fair. I'm going to chime into you on that. I don't know if we had anything as big as what happened with Time Ranger happen in Time Force. For example,
No.
Time Blue and Heart Disease. Does that ring any bells?
Whoa.
I don't know.
That's
I
a
don't
thing.
recall.
That's new to me, actually.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing. I know that Yellow is a strong girl over in Time Force.
In Time Force, they had a female playing Yellow, and they had the not so much civilian powers, but they had the civilian sort of like what they were good at. So she just happened to be pretty strong.
Well, the problem with that, to me, only is that having watched Time Ranger, and I have no problem with that being a run through again. So don't think this is discounting it. Domon, he, if I recall correctly, was a judo fighter of sorts, and he was very much a strong body type. Because he was not the smartest fellow.
No.
He was a feeler more than anything.
Yeah.
But there's a really nice romance that happens with him. That's a strong story, and we didn't have the shitty, the not so great villain that is like, oh hey, look at me, I'm super cyber tech, rah, and I'm a guy, rah.
That guy was cool.
No,
No, he was actually really good.
Okay,
I do like the crossover with Time Force and Gal Ranger. Gal Ranger.
Time Ranger.
No.
I forget the name.
Wild Force.
Time Force Wild Force crossover. It was a good episode.
Fair. Yeah, but over here in Time Ranger, we have like super sad stories about all the bad guys, and the lead bad guy is, I'm sure, what they turned into a dork over here in the States with the Dawn is the blue fish thing. Like, our big bad is just a blue fish thing that you eventually has some issue with the rest of his villains. But I'm sure that over here he was just the let's make fat jokes on this dorky fish guy thing.
I don't remember them making too many jokes. I think he was definitely a lesser villain, but...
Well, I mean, I'm sure they used him as like the squat of that series, if we're going to use Power Ranger terms.
I don't recall too much of it, but
they didn't use him too much.
I think
they
it was one
used
time.
Footage like, oh, we're robbing a bank.
Yeah.
But
no, trust me when I say, even if this isn't the first one we do, we are going to touch Time Ranger, just like we're going to touch Bokenger, because I love both those series so much.
So, I think it's fair to say Time Ranger won this rewatch.
No.
Oh.
You're forgetting that I haven't said mine yet.
I apologize. Go ahead.
Don't even worry about it. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there are many good series in Super Sentai, and I've watched every one of them from Time Ranger on, at the least, and I've seen a few before that. But there's a series that I have to watch that I know is subbed, and I have been meaning to get the rest of the downloads for, and it's one that we kind of skipped over even in Power Rangers culture. I'm talking of Kaku Ranger, my friends.
The ninja.
Oh, my God. 1994 ninjas. I need that in my life. Considering that a lot of them are based on ninja lore, a lot of the villains are based off of Japanese folklore, having the black Kaku Ranger...
Jiraiya?
He's Japanese American.
Oh, sweet.
Yes, and I'm to understand that not only does he go back and forth between Japanese and English, and is fairly good at it, instead of just having the what the internet has termed English, um, but they've used him as a sort of a poke at American culture too. His first entrance is him on a skateboard eating a hamburger while wearing a cowboy hat.
No.
Did I ever mention that I love G Gundam?
I just want to say that I do that every day on my way to work.
Who doesn't? We're America.
I just get on my skateboard and eat my hamburgers.
Yo,
Eat your
cowboy.
hamburgers, Apollo. But
okay.
yeah.
If
Okay.
I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure there's one scene where Jiraiya turns into a hamburger with his ninja art. I could be wrong.
I would not be surprised. But there's also a fair amount of violence. There's some really good monster designs. I would say that it's definitely a worthy series that is highly overlooked, and I want to give it its dues.
All right.
All right. So
we
we've
can.
all put in our bits. Here's how I say that we go down it. We're going to list off each of the three of these inside their different sectors. We're going to go through our riders. We're going to choose one of our riders. We're going to go through our Sentai. We're going to choose one of our Sentai. And then we're going to take those two, and we're going to choose which one of those two we're going to watch.
All right.
Fair?
All right. So should we start with the writers once again?
Yes. So to remind people who are just catching in now, both in podcast and in video, the rider shows that we may watch include, guys, if you want to list your names off.
All right.
Yep. Words. Kamen Rider Kabuto.
Sorry.
Kamen Rider Blade.
Okay. And Kamen Rider Kuga.
All right.
So.
No, I was going to list off Sentai, but you know what? We'll do KR first, then Sentai.
That's the plan.
All right.
So, between Kamen Riders Blade, Kabuto, and Kuga, what are we feeling? What arguments have been made? Can we feel like we like anybody else's beyond the ones that we put in ourselves?
To be honest, I'm leaning towards both your answers more than mine right now, only because I kind of want to watch Kuga as well, because I never watched a single scene in that series, and I feel ashamed of that. But then again, like Breaker said, Kabuto is one of those series where we have our last little heisei of seriousness and this grown-up feel to it. Even though we had childish moments like it's a sword in kindergarten clothes, but that's a whole different story.
The Hell Brothers and the Great Magician.
guys, Dark Iron Chef.
Oh, this show was so serious, so serious.
It was
So serious business.
Seriousness.
Okay, so you say we've whittled it down between either Kuga or Kabuto.
Yeah.
Jones. I'm sorry, no.
No, go ahead. Oh, Jones.
I'm gonna say I'm somewhere stuck between Kabuto and Blade.
Oh no.
Kabuto and Blade.
Yeah.
Okay.
See now, the problem is, Bob, you can keep this a tie, or you can break the tie.
Oh, I
That's
can.
your job, Breaker. That's your name, Toku Breaker.
I
know.
could, but I went second, so.
Oh no.
See, now the problem is that I desperately want to watch Kuga, but I'm also not going to make this a drawn-out thing. I'm going to offer this. Unless somebody comes up with a better idea in the comments below, for the love of God, help us out.
We could just roll and die.
I am willing to do Kabuto. I have no problem rewatching Kabuto.
Okay.
Alright? Just to make life easier, that will be our Kamen Rider option.
Alright, so we're confirming we're going to the path of heaven, right?
Yes. For the sake of this, before we get to our final option, Kabuto is our rider option.
Alright.
Alright?
Kabuto, rider.
Delightful.
Alright. Now, let's go to Sentai.
Sentai. We'll list this off again. I'll start off with the Bokenja.
And
Next.
Jones.
Oh, sorry. What was my
Time Ranger.
Time Ranger? Time Ranger.
Sentai.
Yes.
Oh, so good. And then mine was Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger.
All right.
Can I change mine?
Oh, what would you like to change it to, Joe?
I don't. Well, that depends. Can I change it?
Well,
Let's hear it first.
just go. Try.
I was gonna say Geki Ranger.
Ooh.
Jones.
I really like Geki Ranger.
I know you really like Geki Ranger.
So
Do you know
much
how
fun.
hard it was for me to not say something like, "Hey guys, let's watch Double or maybe rewatch Gaim"? No. Let's try to avoid things that are going to be obviously favorites that we are going to watch ourselves at any time. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, I'm sorry. Just for the sake of.
Yeah.
Let's try to keep this fair.
Alright, no. Alright, so we'll go Time Ranger. Time Ranger.
Okay. Sorry.
Time Fire, so cool.
Time Fire.
Super cool. All right. So.
Or Time Fire.
Oh, such Time Fire. So between Time Ranger, Kaku Ranger, and Bokenger, what do we feel? Jones, let's start with you this time.
When did Bokenger come out?
That was the 30th anniversary, so...
2006.
Okay.
2006. Okay.
And
I'm
yes, you're
gonna
right,
say-
30th anniversary series.
So that came out roughly around the time of.
That came out the same year as Kabuto.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Yeah,
It
it
was-
did come out the same year as Kabuto.
Didn't
So
they have like a little crossover, but go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go with Bokenger.
Okay.
If only because I'm a little more sure of the camera and filming quality of it over a Time Ranger.
I see.
Okay. Now, to note for that, Time Ranger was the end of the really dirty-looking film that we were used to at the time, because that was when people were starting to make that transition towards the higher quality in all areas of the world. We were seeing less grainy film for everywhere between Europe, Asia, and America.
Yeah.
To the cleaner stuff. And I mean, if we were to watch the stuff from Kaku Ranger, that would obviously be like 1994 film quality.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
But I can attest to it because I've seen all of Die Ranger, which was the year before, and that had great quality because it was very much of its time. It was better than early Show Up, but it was the same consistency that you saw between like the late 80s on. So.
All
right. And Tony, you?
I'm gonna have to stick with my option of Bokensha Adventure, man. I miss it.
I know.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I know, and I will be kind, and I will say Bokenger is our Sentai option.
So we're unanimous on Adventure here.
Yes.
Yes.
I also haven't seen it, so.
I know you haven't.
Yes.
I think I
Joe.
saw like the
Years
first
for me.
episode.
I think the last time I saw Bokenger was back in 2008, maybe 2009. So it's been at least a good 5 years or so since I've seen it. So it'll be newish to me.
Bokensha. All right. So we're basically caught between the Kamen Rider and Super Sentai of the same airing time.
Yes.
Bokenja versus Kabuto.
And I love 2006. 2006 was a very good time for me.
Good year. Good year.
Good year. Yes. So where this is the breaker of the two, and you guys had to make me choose between these two, I'm going to give you my decision first.
Okay. Excellent.
I would prefer to watch Bokenger over Kabuto any day, because Kabuto, having seen it, I have an affectionate name for it that you know that I call it, Jones. I'm not going to say it on the air because it's super spoilery, even beyond my spoiler clause.
Oh, God.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Too fast. I love it.
I know. And there will be a day where I watch it again, but while it's still fresh in my memory and I can remember almost every point, I would rather watch Bokenger because there was a lot of good things going on at that time.
All right. Bokensha won. All right. I don't want to be the
Oh,
the
you be the
second
last one.
Yeah,
You be the last one for this.
because considering it's my choice. So, Jones, Breaker, Ikimasu.
What? I'm sorry, I speak.
Wow,
Kabuto
doing a
or
podcast, doing a video, just zoning out, making bzz, bzz noises on his side.
Bzz. I'm not making bzz noises.
he's
I
making
keep
click
hearing-
clicks.
Well, no, I'm hearing something that sounds like a lightsaber every now and again. It goes. Zzz.
He's basically making sushi. If he
Not
hasn't
on
seen
my
it.
end. But
Okay.
see, I could go easy or I could go for new.
Don't go easy. Have you seen Kabuto more than once through?
No. I've watched
Oh.
it once through.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I will abstain from voting.
Oh no.
Oh, so you're gonna make this easy? We're gonna watch Bokendra then?
Yeah, I think
Well,
that's the,
Okay.
I think that's the option.
Because
Okay.
I know what Tony's doing.
I'm sorry, but Boken right now. Like if there was a Boken orange, I'd be
Technically.
technically he had an orange.
So sadly, I cannot. I
Oh,
cannot
no.
henshin currently.
Oh no. He can't make the
Sadly.
sushi. He's trying to make the sushi. That's all.
No,
Oh,
not
no.
the sushi. Not the sushi.
He wanted to henshin into
Oh.
Kamen Rider Drake.
Nice.
Trust me when I say. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay, I was just gonna say.
complimenting. Go ahead.
Trust me when I say. You're gonna want an Next Cellular by the time you're done with this series. I know you, Jones. Because it has super cool henshin shows in the entirety of the series. They use the henshin device really well. You know what I'm talking about, Tony.
Grip.
I understand you have your little stick that takes on a dragonfly. But, Tony, back me up.
Okay.
Literally using anything to henshin.
I'll give you this example, Jones. It's literally a scene where the red takes the henshin device, runs it against a sword to henshin in an uppercut. It's such a great scene.
You say that.
Wait.
I'm thinking even better than that. I'm thinking when Black uses a bullet to ride
Oh my
along the
God.
edge to henshin.
Hold on. What do you mean using anything to henshin?
Okay, so at the bottom of the henshin device is this wheel, and it has
Okay.
to rev up to henshin.
Okay.
So basically, any henshin takes a motion. I remember when Boken Pink was so angry, she revved it against the ground, and it like you see the sparks flying. Like it's one of those devices that if you buy it, you'll have fun with it.
If you buy it, you'll break it.
exactly.
Well, you're Toku Breaker, so it'll work for you.
There you go.
Or it won't work because it's not strong enough to handle me.
Sure. Okay. I think what we were trying to imply, friend, is that you would be strong enough to break it.
I know.
You dork.
Alright, but
All right,
so Bokenja.
Bokenja.
Oh, I can't wait for that adventure. It's gonna be so good. Didn't No B do the opening for that too? No. He did. I'm thinking of the guy who did the opening for Go Sager. Who did Bokendra's opening?
He's the guy who looks like a Japanese lead singer to Aerosmith.
Oh,
Like that's the only way I can describe that man.
the guy who
He
was
looks
the
like a
opener
Japanese
for
Steven. He looks
Bokendra?
like a Japanese Steven Tyler.
Are you looking it up right now?
Yeah, I am.
Thank God. Okay. And while he's looking that up, I'm going to do a little side story for you people at home. This year at Anime Boston, we had Jam Project show up. Jam Project is home to two major singers that are known in at least the anime and tokusatsu community. We have the more well-known Hironobu Kageyama, Chala Head Chala, but it also has another good voice in there, Endo Masaki. I love Endo Masaki solely because, and for you guys who are watching us on YouTube, I have a visual here. I love Bakuryu Sentai Abaranger. It was my baby. It was my first show. I got to meet that man and Hironobu Kageyama in person. Don't get me wrong, the other people in the group are great. Unfortunately, I'm terrible with their names right now, and I don't know their songs as well. I'm in love with their songs. And I got to tell Endo Masaki how much the opening to Abaranger meant to me in person. Not only did he offer me Dino Guts for the lulz, and it was a great experience. I was hyperventilating, but I come to find out that while I'm hosting a couple of my panels at Anime Boston, at that concert where they were doing solo pieces, Hironobu Kageyama, I'm sorry, not Hironobu Kageyama, Endo Masaki, he takes a moment and tries to get the people in the band there to do Abaranger for him. Unfortunately, the people in the band did not know the song well enough to do it, but still, he was inspired to sing the first 4 bars, at least, of Abaranger to the audience. And unfortunately, we're not in a society that really takes to tokusatsu easily right now. That's why we're doing this podcast, is to make sure that everybody starts getting into the swing of things here. That man, I will still claim to this day, did that for me. And that is just a wonderful feeling, even if it's a delusion. But as we all know, Sentai fans are a little delusional. So. Jumosos, mother lovers. But yeah, did you find out?
Oh yes, NOB, so Nobuo Yamada.
Oh, it was Nobi.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I still got it.
But yes, we're going Go-Go Sensei Rokensha, and yeah, he did sing the Go Sager opening, so you're in the right path.
Oh, I'm so good.
So I'll give a quick summary. Basically, within this podcast, if you're just catching it now, we've talked about past month of Resha Sentai, Tokyuja, Soshite, Kamen Rider, Gain. It's ending, unfortunately. But this gives us a brand new Rider series, Kamen Rider Drive, which is coming up this weekend. So keep your eyes out for it if you're a person who watches the Raw. If you're not, wait for the subs. Overtime, TV on your choice. You know? With that, we also are trying to push forward this whole Cram School, where we'll be watching the entire series of Go-Go Sentai Rokensha and come back within, we would say, a month.
We're going to try and do these shows about a month in space, so by next month we should watch the entire series of Bokenger, in which case, I'm sorry not to bootleg, to take this from you, we're going to watch another series. This is where you people at home come in. What we need from you now is to go to the comments below or somewhere in the vicinity of where you're hearing or watching this show. You're going to let us know exactly what you want us to watch next so we can offer you our take on it and so you can join in the conversation.
That's great. You see, now once this is fully uploaded, obviously when this is uploaded, you'll be looking at this. We'll take into content via comments. We'll decide from there where we will go for that. And by next month, we'll have a summary of Go-Go Sensei Bokenja and the audience choice of Toku. Be in mind, like Toku Master said, Sentai or KR, unfortunately, it's the only two that seem to be getting the most love lately. We'll be going into more other tokusatsu as Garo, as Tomika Heroes, even Metal Heroes. These are great tokusatsu series that we'll try to push forward.
And let's not forget some of the other ones out there, too. Let's take a second to note things like, you mentioned Tomika Heroes. I do want to watch Rescue and Rescue Fire, but there's other heroes like Ryu Kendo that people haven't really heard about. And
wait, which one is Ryu Kendo? Is that the one from Indonesia?
I don't think that's no, you're thinking of
Garuda.
Garuda was the one that's Indonesia.
Yeah, that looks super good.
Yeah, no, Garuda's probably going to be a thing. Besides that, too, there's the Sazu series, Grand Sazer, Sazer X. There's also there's a series or two out in China that uses like game devices as part of belt things and stuff that I've seen visuals for, but I don't know the name of the series. So anybody who knows that's another comment you can leave for us down below.
Yep, absolutely.
But yeah, there's so many different Toku series. There's also Western Toku.
Yeah, absolutely. I would actually like to give a quick shout out to a gentleman working with the indie Toku series, a gentleman by the name of Bueno, If you know, if you haven't heard of him, he recently did his own movie that he had been working on for a couple of years called.
Is this the one that I think you're going to talk about?
Gun Caliber.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking Gun Caliber.
Yep.
Okay.
He made this movie over the course of a few years, because as he's roughly quoted as saying, you know, if there's certain things you want to see in Toku, do that shit yourself.
Fair.
Make it happen. You know, this is what he wanted to see, so this is what he did. Granted, I will say it is not a kid-friendly series.
Yeah. I believe that.
It is definitely an adult tokusatsu, but it is very good. It kind of dissects what tokusatsu is, but it keeps it to. It's a very digestible thing because it's just a movie, so you can, from beginning to end, you've got this hero, and his not necessarily his almost like his day-to-day thing. It's not an origin story. It is his day-to-day, what he does as a licensed hero of Japan.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot. I believe it's on Garage TV, or is it
Garage Pro TV?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's up to view currently. I know I'm pretty sure it's coming out on DVD at some point.
Nice.
Don't quote me on that, but it has gone up on YouTube a couple times as sort of a promotional thing, but
nothing like full episode or full series, basically.
No, he put it up as you could just watch the whole thing.
Nice. All right.
It was only up for like a set amount of time, and then he took it down.
All right. So
it was pretty good.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to find the Japanese series that is actually an American California series. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to.
Is it something Sunshine?
Yes. Ichiro Sunshine, I think.
Ichiro Sunshine. There we go. Is it?
Thank you.
What is this?
I believe it's Ichiro Sunshine. I might be mispronouncing this because I don't have it directly in front of me right now. But it's
Or is it Ichiyama? I can't remember.
It might be Ichiyama Sunshine. But it's a series that is taking place right now in California, and they're trying to do it as a tokusatsu film right now. Ideally, they would do it as a series. I think they do it as, at the very least, live shows out that way that they've been trying to build up for a while. Think the same way that like how Steam Powered Giraffe tried to do live shows before they started doing albums.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, no, so many different Toku people out here in the States. Thank goodness that we have people who help to try and bring things to the forefront in their own way.
Oh, sorry to cut you off. I found the title, Fujiyama Ichiban. I'm sorry.
Fujiyama Ichiban. Well, the guy's name is something Taiyo.
Yeah.
Taiyo, I think.
What is it? Fujiyama?
Yes,
Ichiban?
Yeah, Fujiyama.
Samurai hero in USA?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'll post it in the chat beside us, but yes.
Perfect. Fujiyama Ichiban.
Okay.
The reason I thought of Sunshine is because his whole I think his motif is based off the sun, basically.
Yes, but
yeah, I'm looking at his design. He's got the rising sun right on his suit. So
for those of you who are listening and or watching right now, please, by all means, look into Fujiyama Ichiban. They're a really cool group out in the West Coast, and they could be doing some really cool things for American Toku, because God knows we need it.
Pretty much.
I'm sorry. I'm a bigger fan of where the stuff came from than the ports that we've gotten. So those of you who do follow Saban and do care for Saban, these are personal views, and they don't reflect anything about where the state of things actually are.
There you go.
I agree. So,
closing
we've gone
thoughts?
through all of this.
I think we're closing this up.
Yeah, let's say we should wrap this up. So why don't we start with a little bit of just a quick who you are and where we can find you. We'll start with you, Tony.
All right. I'm Toku Brother, or most people know me as Aniki Tony. You can find me on my Tumblr, aniki-tony.tumblr.com. Find me on my Twitter. Look up Aniki Tony as well. I'm basically just a new guy in the fandom. Well, not new to Toku, but just new to the fandom. And this, I would say, my first big project. So don't expect too much out of me, but I'll try my best. Thank you.
We'll get you going.
Yes, absolutely. Jones, why don't you go next?
I am Jones, also known as Toku Breaker. You can find me at twitter.com/Toku Breaker. That's TOKU Breaker. You can also find me on Facebook under Toku Breaker Cosplay, where I post some of the stuff that I've done for cosplay over the years. It's not great, but hey, sure, take a look.
Hey, you've been imaginative in the past. You've done some really cool, like, Kamen Rider Mega Man. That was the time.
We don't talk about that.
No, hey, that was enjoyable at the least. It wasn't good looking, but it was enjoyable.
But
yeah. You did an enjoyable Possessed. You did a Momotaro's Possessed. That was
yeah, it was alright. But alright, Toku Master, where can we find you?
Name's Bob, also known as Toku Master. You can find me in a number of places, in fact. You can find me on Tumblr. I should be also known as Toku Master on there, and that's where we'll try to be posting more for HENSHIN series. We do podcasts where we are mostly known for our panels as of the past few years, and we're going to try and do more in the blogging community as well. You can find me on Twitter, again, Toku Master, one word. If it's not one word, it's an underscore. You'll know because you'll see my ugly face trying to replicate something with Akagi Nobuo from one of my prior panels, my Super Sentai collective. And you can find me on Facebook if you know who I am. But you don't, do you?
That's true. We should also mention the HENSHIN panels Facebook page.
Yes, the HENSHIN panels Facebook page is a thing.
If you know how to spell HENSHIN, HENSHIN, type that into Facebook. Keep a space in between each letter. All capitals.
Yeah.
If only because Facebook is stupid. But yeah, so that's where you can find all of us, and this has been the first official. Oh? Huh?
No, there's at least one other little thing that we got to do.
Oh.
We're going to do some shout-outs to our buddies because that's how they get to enjoy watching our show and how we can help them out, and then they help us out because then they'll tell two friends, and they'll tell two friends, and they'll tell two friends.
True.
Okay, so
advertise like shameless whores.
Oh, that's how it works, my friend. That's how we get people to listen to us. So, I mean, just a few people include the OTP group. They do a really great job of offering dojin of ships as well as a lot of Toku merchandise. You can find them at a number of different conventions, and please, by all means, support them, and that'll help support the fandom. Also, Nightingale Needles. They do a lot of really great works, different scarves and stuffed toys. They have a number of people that are part of the community, including at least our own Toku Wolf, who won't be with us during podcasts most times, but will be with us at all panels. So please support them because they support the community. Also, go to your local subgroups, whether that's Overtime, Acer, TVN, Millionfold, Grown Ups in Spandex. There's a bunch of us now. So support all of us to make these shows work. Well,
I think there's a new one, a new group for Drive, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm sure there's one.
I'll do some research on it because I seen a preview for it. It was pretty good. So
we're gonna put up a bunch of links soon enough, and you can try and check these people out because we're gonna try and make them regular shout-outs. But please, guys, support the community by supporting us, and by that way, we'll be able to support you in your growth towards transformation. Everybody, let's HENSHIN.
All right.
All right. Signing off, this is Toku Breaker over there. Show him off. Toku Brother over there. Show him off. And Toku Master.
Show him off.
Now we're showing you guys out the door. Have a good night.
Take care, guys.
Absolutely. Good night.
Later, taters.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.